season Group C game between Gaziantep and Peristeri of Greece. Well, Gaziantep in this competition for the second time, and you see the Wilson basketball that will be in this competition all season long. Exciting times all the way around. There's nothing that whets the appetite for a big season like that opener. Both these teams wanting to get off on the right foot. So here's the action in Group C for game day one. Of course, Riga and Mornar Bar today also, and you've got a lot of other games as well. Tenerife, Nizhny Novgorod will be one that certainly a lot of people will be paying attention to. And well, what can we expect from these teams? Well, again, both of these teams have different histories. Peristeri, this is their first ever Basketball Champions League campaign, unlike Gaziantep, who weren't successful the first time. It has to be said, Ilias Zoros, really highly regarded in coaching circles. The coach of Peristeri, the former Greek national team coach, has also coached Georgia as recently as the World Cup qualifiers. There's Nenad Markovic. He knows what this Basketball Champions League is all about, and he's coached before both not only in Turkey but in Spain. So here is the Peristeri winmasters team. Scoochie Smith, BJ Blake, Vasilis Xanthopoulos, of course, a winner with Ike a couple of years ago. Christos Solustros did so well for Prometheus just last season, and of course has played for Greece's national team. Mike Morrison and Will Hatcher. Will Hatcher, one of the real veterans of the Basketball Champions League, having played for so many different teams in the past. When you look back at his history, of course, playing with Partizan, Dinamo Sassari, and PAOK. So for Gaziantep, they've only won 2 of the previous 7 home games that they played in this competition. Of course, that was back in the 2017-18 season. Jim Ulusoy, Jamel Higgins, Orhan Hatsieva, Drew Crawford, Vasilauskas, Stevan Jelic, the Serbia international, is going to be in that team. Jamar Sanders. You know, we are fully expecting both of these teams to come out strong, but you never know until that opening tip. Both these teams early in their campaigns, and nothing really gets the fans behind you like strong starts to a season, and especially in European competitions. So these teams want to come down and lay down their markers and really come out and have a good start to the 4th Basketball Champions League campaign. This has been a wonderful competition. Year 1 was won by Beerstar Tenerife. Ike won year 2, and what those 2 seasons had in common is that both the Beerstar Tenerife and Ike were the host for the Final Fours, and they won one of those competitions. Virtus Bologna winning last year at Antwerp, and what was just a spectacle, pure spectacle for basketball. And here we are already getting ready now for the start of season 4. So this is an exciting time, not only for the Basketball Champions League, not only for these clubs taking part, but also for European basketball, because it's been an outstanding competition. Ilias Zoros means all business tonight. He and his coaching staff fully decked out in their suits and looking the part. And their players have come out. Now we're getting a look at the Gaziantep team as they come out onto the court. Of course, both Greece and Turkey would be considered real hotbeds for European basketball really for some time now, not only in terms of their clubs, but for their national teams. Both of them have made a lot of headlines in the club scene, in the European competitions, but also with the national teams, whether it's been FIBA Basketball World Cups or Olympic Games. And it's always exciting to come back to Gaziantep, which, by the way, if you look at the country, you see Markovic on the right and Zoros on the left there now in the middle shaking hands. Gaziantep, if you look at Turkey's kind of in the middle down at the bottom, just to the right. And it's actually just under 100 kilometers north of Aleppo, Syria. So that kind of gives you an idea of where it is. It's the capital of Gaziantep province in the western part of Turkey's southeastern Anatolia region. So about 185 kilometers east of Adana. But of course, this is not going to be a geography lesson. This is more about basketball. And there's Will Hatcher, who, quite frankly, folks, has not only been one of the veterans of this competition, but also one of the most exciting players in this competition. He is about as confident a player as they come in European basketball. So it'll be interesting to see what type of start he gets off to tonight. So for Gaziantep and for Peristeri, both of these teams know that they need to finish in the top 4 of this group if they want to move on into the playoffs. And we've got 4 8-team groups. So this is the first game on a very long road, a very long journey for both of these teams. And you want to get every win that you can along the way, because as we have seen in the first 3 years, there have been a lot of teams that have left it late and had to get wins right at the end. So Lorenzo Baldini, Andrea Sciarappa, and Thomas Bisuel from Italy, Belarus, and France are the referees for tonight's game. So good to see those guys back on the hardwood tonight and getting ready to officiate this game after what has been an incredible year of basketball. Really, it just kind of continues. 2019, you know, we've had the Basketball Champions League, which had its culmination in Antwerp. We'll talk more about that. So it's going to be B.J. Blakes, Gray, William Hatcher, Skordilis, and Vasilopoulos, the veteran Panayotis Vasilopoulos, in the starting 5 for the visitors. And Coach Ilias Zouros, who is a fine tactician, and boy, he's probably been on a roller coaster of emotions in his career. I'll tell you that right now, whether it's been coaching clubs or the national teams that we talked about, Greece and Georgia. Terrific coach. Drew Crawford, meanwhile, Orhan Hatsieva, Hagens, Ogut, John Ogut, and Sarunas Vasilauskas, and Nenad Markovic, the coach of Gaziantep. He was quite a player himself, you might remember, back in the day. So good to see him having transitioned into the coaching ranks and done a very good job. So they go from the pressure environment of being a player to perhaps even a more pressure environment of being a coach. So we saw at the start of the broadcast the game day for today, but we've got a lot of games tonight in the Basketball Champions League. Gaziantep Peristeri here. Riga will be going up against Mornar Bar, another group. See Game Neptunus against Brindisi. That'll be played up in Lithuania. PAOK will be at home tonight, Group D, against Besiktas. That'll be a humdinger. And Hapoel Holon against Ankara in Group A. Strasbourg against Ostend. That'll be in France. And just a lot of good basketball coming your way here on the opening night of the Basketball Champions League. Rasta Vekta also will be making their bow in the competition against Anvol from Poland. And also Peristeri Tenerife, the former champs, going up against Nizhny Novgorod down in the Canary Islands. Well, hello, everybody, and good evening. Welcome to Gaziantep, Turkey. This is the Basketball Champions League. It's game day one. It's Gaziantep taking on Peristeri, and Gaziantep winning the opening tip, but the referee's pointing up at the shot clock, so it hasn't taken long for some type of gremlin to get involved here, so they're going to sort that out here just with 9 seconds into the contest. Gaziantep from Turkey had a good season last year, finishing 5th in the regular season to advance to the playoffs. Of course, Peristeri also did very well in Greece, where they also finished 4th, in fact, and won their quarterfinal in the Greek playoffs before falling to Panathinaikos in the semifinals. So a little bit of a shot clock infraction here at the start, and the referee's going to call timeout as they try to get this sorted out. So players go over to the bench to get some last-minute instructions from their coach.
Active hands immediately, 4 hands up.
So this game is underway, but it's only 9 seconds old as they try to reset the shot clock. And not sure what has caused this, but it's never welcome. But you have to be patient, and hopefully everything will be resolved. Fans here in Gaziantep already having a good time, and this gives some of the late arrivals a chance to get into the arena here. So perhaps they'll be the happy ones. Here's Will Hatcher. How long will it be before he hits a big three-pointer tonight? And it looks like they're going to have to get up there and take a look at it because they're bringing the stairs out to examine the issue. You can see some lights blinking on and off on the shot clock. And well, while we've got time, I'll remind you, you want to get all the latest news and information on this great competition. Go to championsleague.basketball, and you can see who the teams are, see which groups they're in, read a lot of interesting features and interviews, hear podcasts, follow the live scoring. And you can also download the Basketball Champions League app into your smartphone, which has been very popular in the first 3 seasons of this competition. Already halfway through the opening quarter in the other game that started early today up in Lithuania, up in Klaipėda, where Neptūnas are playing Brindisi and leading that one by a single point, 13-12. So this is the first game, and it's come with an unwanted delay here. Shot clock malfunction, which they're trying to resolve. Peristeri coming out and warming up Remember Peristeri representing Greece. Well, the face mask has been worn by the fan. Hopefully he doesn't have a serious nose injury. There are the fans already in fine fettle and being heard. So Gaziantep in their second ever Basketball Champions League campaign and taking on Peristeri, who are looking to make waves like so many other Greek teams have done. Prometheus, you'd have to say last year, were the team that really shook things up. PAOK have always been PAOK Thessaloniki have always been a team that's seemed to make headlines one way or the other in the Basketball Champions League from Greece. AEK, of course, one of the real heavyweights in this competition. A lot of people thought they would win it last year. They did not, but they nevertheless had a strong season. And Aris have also played in the Basketball Champions League. So again, if you're just joining us, we have a small delay here because the shot clock immediately malfunctioned right at the start of the game. And they've had to pull out the stairs to go take a look at it. So hopefully this will not be too long of a delay. Mike Morrison. He's a high flyer. He's a rejection artist. And he will no doubt play a big role in this contest today. We didn't talk too much about Panyanis Vasilopoulos, but see him shooting free throws there. Long time Greece international. You know, really saw his career go in the wrong direction with injuries, but made a huge splash coming back. Here you see the game delay due to a technical issue. So we're hoping that this is going to be resolved sooner rather than later. And Markovic would rather play the game than have to sit here and watch it. Kind of throws you out of rhythm. Zouros as well. It's not what he wants, is to have a technical issue with the shot clock, but I guess those guys don't have anywhere else to be tonight, so they'll be more than happy to have some more time to sing songs. So again, referee is going over and explaining it. It may be that they're going to have to go without the shot clock, and we're just going to wait and see. But it's not ideal for the players and for the coaches, because obviously you got 24 seconds on the shot clock. You got to run your offense, and you need to be able to look up at the shot clock and see what the situation is. So that's the Serbia international. Well, Hagens, played in this competition before, so he will understand, bring a lot of experience to the table. Actually hails from Virginia. And when he played before, he was with the Umanorar Venezia. So that was back in the 2016-2017 season. So again, it looks like you see the shot clock is on at one end and it is off at the other. So I don't know, again, what type of, how this is going to be addressed. Perhaps at halftime, they'll have a little bit of time to get up there and fix it. You never know if there's some type of short, some type of fuse situation, some type of light bulb. I just don't know. But it's come right at the beginning of the game. So it looks like they're making plans to go to plan B. And as soon as we know what that is, we'll let you know. So Peristeri, again, here, having taken the journey from Greece. I remember Michael Morrison from his previous clubs playing in European competition. Of course, he won a European title with Frankfurt. Won a title with them. He also played with that Kabelis team in the Lithuanian League as well as the Basketball Champions League. And they had Kabelis also in this year's competition. He finished up last season. Last season, rather, he was with Würzburg in Germany, and now he's here with Peristeri. So Cordelius, the big center, trying to stay loose here before the game. Remember, folks, the game being delayed due to a technical issue with the shot clock. One of the challenges of a coach and a pro, obviously, is you have to be able to cope with situations like this when they arise. And you know, sometimes it can affect a team, one team more than it affects another team. Again, you see Willie Hatcher there, who that exciting player that has been on the books of so many good teams in this competition over the years. Well, haven't really gone through. I'll go ahead while we have the time. Unfortunately, that I wish we didn't have. I'll go ahead and tell you that in Group C. Got Brosa Bamberg, Peristeri Tenerife, Ches Nimberg, DEF Riga, Peristeri, Gaziantep, Mornar Bar, and Nizhny Novgorod. So these are the teams that'll be doing battle. Each team will play each other home and away. And with Gaziantep, obviously you hope that none of the other visitors that come to this arena will have to put up with a delay right at the beginning of the game. Of course, it's never a good time to have a delay due to a technical issue, but obviously it's not something they planned on. Remember working at an Afrobasket once, and on a dunk, the rim or the backboard cracked, and that had to be replaced. So these things happen, and you have to be able to cope when those things do happen. So again, folks, sorry if you're just joining us. We have a delay because of a shot clock malfunction. The game is just 9 seconds old, and the players are having to warm up here. Peristeri, having traveled all the way from Greece to take on Gaziantep. The season opening game here in the Basketball Champions League. I was thinking it might be the first one that was going to finish, but I think that's probably going to be unlikely unless things go to overtime in the other game that started early between Neptunus and Brindisi. Of course, that game already being won by Neptunus late in the first quarter. So games still have not started, and apologies, folks, if you're just joining us. Not sure if and when this is going to resume. I know it will resume, but I'm just not sure when it's going to resume. But they were trying to fix the game clock, and now this delay is 20 minutes long. So again, it's not exactly what that man wants right there, and it's not what Nenad Markovic wants. Ugat and Gaziantep having to warm up and try to stay warm for the resumption of this game, which is 9 seconds old here against Peristeri. So both teams just trying to stay warm here. You had the shot clock malfunction at the start of the game between Gaziantep and Peristeri. Gaziantep of Turkey hosting this contest against Peristeri of Greece. A lot of other exciting games here today on game day 1. Just go through those for you real quickly. VEF Riga are at home to Mornar Bar. Neptunus Klaipėda taking on Happy-Casa Brindisi from Italy. That's up in Lithuania. That's actually underway right now. PAOK will be tipping off soon at home to Besiktas. Unet Holon up against Turk Telecom. SIG Strasbourg at home to Filo Ostend. Rastavekta against Anvil Vlodslavlik. And Peristeri Tenerife will be at home against Nizhny Novgorod. So that is the exciting schedule for day 1 here in the Basketball Champions League. Clearly the organizers struggling to either remedy the problem. I'm not sure if they're trying to get a piece for the shot clock or if they are looking to move forward without having that shot clock ready. But unfortunately, folks, I don't have any more information at this point other than the fact that the game is being delayed due to that technical issue with the shot clock. So it looks like they have installed a shot clock now at the edge of the court. So that will be what the players will look at. And hopefully we'll be underway here in just a second. So again, the game 9 seconds old. The shot clock malfunction has taken place, and it's led to a 25-minute delay here between Peristeri and Gaziantep here in Turkey. Zoros talking it over with his players, and no doubt has emphasized the importance of hitting the ground running in the Basketball Champions League. You know, we talked about teams that have been there or thereabouts. They've had great starts, but they have dropped important points. You want to win as many games as possible early. Now you heard this sound of the buzzer there, so that's a good sign. It sounds like things are getting ready to resume. Okay, so the referees, again, telling the, I think they want to make sure that they've got it ready to work. It's a bit interesting. You look at the shot clock on the corner, so you just hope that it's not going to cause any issues when it's, maybe if the ball hits it or if a player runs into it, but Sometimes you just have to make adjustments on the fly and hope everything goes for the best. So Peristeri on the left and Gaziantep on the right. I'm hoping that we're just about ready to start things off here on game day 1 here in Group C of the Basketball Champions League. Well, now it looks like we're not ready to go. They're gonna do something with the shot clock. I'm not sure if it's gonna be off the court, so maybe in fact it is. I don't know if they're gonna try to elevate it or if they're just gonna put it over in the corner. And I think that's probably going to be more like it. So it's an unfortunate start to the season here in Gaziantep. So it looked like we were about ready to start, and now it seems like they have not quite figured out how they want to move forward. So fingers crossed this will be resolved as soon as possible. So as they try to figure out how they want to start the game again with the clock issues. Looking back again, I've already told you who's in this group, this fantastic group. Let me tell you, Group A is going to be interesting with Baxi Manresa, Dynamo Sassari, Filou Ostend, Unet Holon, for Telecom, Sig Strasbourg, Liet Kabelis, and Polski, Torun. And Group B is going to be a whale of a group with San Pablo Burgos making it through qualifying. Boy, they really pack them in there with Rasta Vecta, Hapoel Bank, Yahav Jerusalem, Ike, Po, Van Dierma, Anvol Voslavik, and Telenet Giants Antwerp. And then in Group D, it'll be Brindisi, Casa de Mont Zaragoza, Falco Sombatle, Pauk, Besiktas, Dijon, Pelagon Baskets Bonn, and Neptunus Klaipeda. So, folks, again, apologies, but it's out of our control. It's a 30-minute delay, and it looks like finally, we're going to start things off here. I think I've probably grown a few whiskers in the meantime. Like, it feels like it's taken an eternity, but they have finally got it going, and you can see the shot clock is off at this end of the floor, and the players will have to refer to a shot clock which is actually behind the basket. So be thankful for small mercies. We're underway here in Gaziantep. Higgins gets it and turns the ball over. So Peristeri gets it over to Hatcher. Now we're off. Fingers crossed things will run smoothly from here on out. Vasilopoulos gets it down low, and the dunk is missed, but Skordelis gets it back and is denied again. Higgins comes up with the basketball. Beautiful bounce pass to Higgins. He scores, and he's fouled. So he will go to the line for a potential three-point play. Good pass by John Ogut. If Higgins catches the ball that close to the basket, you know he's going to be tough to stop. So Higgins takes his time, dribbles, and this is the free throw, but then they fail to box out, and they get fouled on the putback. Unbelievable. This could end up being a 5-point trip down the floor for Gaziantep. So Crawford, a little bit of a miscommunication there with Peristeri trying to get the rebound on the missed free throw. And Crawford just picks up the ball and he draws a foul. So he has a chance for a 3-point play. You wonder if it might happen again. And nope, he makes the free throw. So indeed it is a very productive trip down the floor. 5 points. A little bit of full court pressure here. Now Peristeri break it, but they've taken some time off the shot clock. See the shot clock at both ends on top of the baskets. They've turned them off, so they're using the shot clocks in the corners. And the miss, Higgins with the rebound. Ogut brings it up. Now Ogut into the paint, takes it back out. Now long one, Ogut misses. And rebounding it was Blake, DJ Blake. Now Hatcher. Vasilopoulos down low. And a foul called on Higgins.
Look
at that beautiful no-look pass from Vasilopoulos. So that was Skordilis who was fouled, and they will inbound the ball here under the basket. Hatcher looks to make the pass, and he does get it to Skordilis. Gets it back now. Hatcher lets it fly. And bring it up the floor as Vasiliauskas. Ogut again down to Higgins. Skordilis would like Higgins to be that far away from the basket. Now into the corner it goes, and Crawford misses from deep. And Vasilopoulos perhaps guilty of not getting the rebound. It costs them as they give up a three. Vasilopoulos just kind of standing around, not picking up the ball, and Crawford has for the second time said, well, don't mind if I do if you're not going to pick up the basketball. He had the 3-point play off the missed free throw before, and now he's got a 3-pointer. And now a foul's called, and you can see Iliazoros already animated on the bench. A little unnerved here by the start of his team, and the ball indeed is turned over. 3-second violation called on Skordilis. Higgins powers his way, little jump hook, and it's a 10-0 lead for Gaziantep. And Peristeri are going to call timeout. So it has been a nightmare start in every way, shape, and form for this Peristeri team. Not only do we have the 30-minute delay, but then they almost seemingly spot Gaziantep 10 points.
Wake up!
They only got more energy than us, that's all.
Try to receive the ball here. 5 men on the screen here. 1 here. We pass and off. Good screen. Now 2 doesn't go. Come back. The player here. And the other wing here. So we have pass, and everything. Guys, defense. Important is defense.
Let's play. Yes, let's play. Let's play 54 side. Okay? Sorry, 22 side.
Well, this is Higgins. He's been a problem so far. Great bounce pass by Ogut. And then Crawford, who benefits from the fact that Peristeri did not get the rebound. And Higgins then goes down again, scores with a little jump hook. And again, it's a nightmare start for the team from Greece. So Peristeri trailing 10-0 here at Gaziantep. And the game is not even 3 minutes old. And the drive and the basket is good. Laying it up and in. And much better. And also points coming from Salustros, who just checked into the game. He came in for BJ Blake. So Blake might not have been on the same page, it appears, as everybody else. But then an alley-oop pass. Higgins off and running. Now Hatcher hands it off to Gray. He's also checked in. Here's Hatcher. And a foul called before the shot on John Ruger Ogut. And that will be a matchup, I think, that Willie Hatcher will savor. I think he will like his chances. And Mike Morrison comes into the game. And Skordilis goes out. You can see Zuros talking to Skordilis before he sits down. Morrison, watch him. He brings a lot of energy to the team. 3-point attempt. Off target by Gray. And now Crawford brings it forward. Crawford left open again. Rattles out. Salustros with the rebound. Now Hatcher. And the ball passed out of bounds. Shaking and baking. Vasiliauskas lays it up and in. Well, Gaziantep look like they are ready to roll. They are getting good shots, high percentage shots, and Peristeri are very slow out of the gate. Vasilopoulos back to Hatcher. Vasilopoulos steps back. Got it off just in time. But already a 12-point lead for Gaziantep. Vasiliauskas bounce pass. Higgins hands it off. Hatsieva! And another nice play, nice set for this Gaziantep team, who, quite frankly, folks, have surprised me. I didn't think they'd come out this fast, but I think some of that has to do with the way Peristeri is playing. Hatcher bumped a long way from the basket by Higgins. Sanders coming into the game now. Makes his first appearance, in this Basketball Champions League season. The dump down low to Salustros. Now Hatcher gets it back to Salustros. Steps in, gets it back. Dribbling behind his back is Anthopoulos. Morrison, and they take too much time. So that turns the basketball over back to Gaziantep. They look completely out of sync. 3 turnovers already for the Greeks. And Gaziantep with another opportunity to pad their lead. Sanders drives in and he's fouled by Vasilis Xanthopoulos. So Sanders will have a couple of free throws.
Gaziantep basketbolda oyuncu değişikliği.
Mar Sanders, 31 years of age, hails from the United States, played in Italy last year with Trieste. Before that was in Germany with Telekom Baskets Bonn. Makes his first free throw. Interesting, played college basketball back in the United States for 3 different schools: Alabama State, Northwest Florida State, and finished up at UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. Makes the second one. 18-2, that's right, folks. That is not a mistake. 18-2, Gaziantep on top of Peristeri from Greece. Anthopoulos whips it over to Salustros off the back of the iron. And it is not working right now for the team from Greece. Vasiliauskas over to the corner, and Hachieva misses from deep. Salustros now gets it back. Anthopoulos, bounce pass over to Hatcher. Hatcher hands it off, and a little bit of a bump there as Gontikas catches it in the lane. Gontikas is fouled. So 2 free throws for Peristeri and a chance to get some points on the board, which they have had a lot of trouble doing. Medahem Akiel has come into the game for Gaziantep. Number 41. Gontikas takes his time, makes the first. And makes the second. He actually spent 4 years at NYU. Played for Panathinaikos, Patras, Limnu, and now is with Peristeri. 25 years of age. So those 2 free throws get the deficit back to 14. Crawford, meanwhile, drives in and even scores with the right hand. Coming in from the left. Takes it back to a 16-point lead. He has been impressive here offensively. And now Peristeri just throw the ball out of bounds. Zuros appealing for a foul. Watch this again. And no foul. Medahan Akiel just held his ground. Now almost losing the ball in the backcourt, getting it back. And the ball turned over. So Jim Ulisoy seemed to have almost turned it over to Peristeri. They end up turning it over anyway. And Peristeri just looking to get something going, anything going on either side of the court. And Jim Ulisoy comes out and commits the foul a long way from the basket. That's just a lazy foul. Not moving your feet, you're reaching, and you put a team that is struggling for points on the line. So that is not a good situation for Gaziantep. Hatcher, meanwhile, takes a deep breath, bends the knees, and makes the first free throw. Both free throws are good to get it back to a 14-point game. I mean, obviously, this Peristeri team can put some points on the board in a hurry. They don't want this lead to get any bigger, though, for Gaziantep. It was up to 16. Now it's down to 14. Jim Ulisoy hands it off to Hachieva. Shot clock winding down. Ulisoy puts it up from deep, off the back of the iron, but Medahan Akiel with the rebound. Then his bounce pass intercepted. An unsportsmanlike foul on Jim Ulusoy, and again, not distinguishing himself on the defensive end here. Gives away a silly foul, and now it's called for an unsportsmanlike foul, not playing the ball. Well, they will have a look at it just to double check and make sure if it was. Well, on that, looking at that video, it looks like it was just a normal foul. It wasn't a great foul, but nevertheless. So just they're not calling the unsportsmanlike. They wipe it off. Neptunus up 7 against Brindisi already at halftime. That's where we should be, really, if we had not had the delay to the start of the game. So Salustros fouled, makes the first free throw, gets it back to a 13-point deficit. And the second one is good as well. Crawford gets it. He's tormented this Peristeri team here in the first quarter. Vasiliauskas drills a three-pointer. Well, that brings the good feeling back for Gaziantep. And they take their lead back to 15 points. Quickly answering is Salustros. Lays it up and in. Crawford hands it off. Now Vasiliauskas gets it back to Hachieva. Crawford gets in, and Drew Crawford scores another 2 points, banking the ball in high off the glass. Hatcher hands it off, and the layup is good. So good riposte there by Gondikas. Vasiliauskas again to Crawford. Shot clock down to 10. Sanders lets it fly from deep. Akyel goes up for the offensive rebound, and Vasilis Xanthopoulos knocks it out of bounds. So it'll be a new 14 seconds on the shot clock. Gondikas goes out. Smith comes into the game for the first time for Peristeri. Scoochie Smith. This will be one of the all-time great names in the Basketball Champions League. Scoochie Smith. Now, ball inbounded to Hachieva. Crawford again. And Scoochie Smith with the rebound. DJ Blake, meanwhile, is also checked back into the game. Smith, though, fumbles the ball away. Vasiliauskas from deep. And boy, I would not have been surprised if that had gone in, because that is the type of quarter that it's been here for Peristeri. But nevertheless, Gaziantep lead it 25-12 at the end of the first quarter. Well, not much defense being offered by Peristeri. As you can see, 8 of 8 inside the arc for Gaziantep. Both teams struggling from deep. But the only thing that's given Peristeri hope has been getting to the free throw line, making all 6 of their attempts. Still a long way to go, 3 quarters. And don't go away, folks, because you know this Peristeri team, they just need to get in the flow. They need to find some rhythm here. And that first quarter, you just wonder how much the delayed start knocked them out of sync. If in fact it did knock them out of sync, how much it impacted them with the shot clock not working on top of the baskets. So again, an unfortunate delay. That's why we're only at the end of the first quarter. In terms of leading the way for Gaziantep, Drew Crawford with 10 points. He's had a whale of a start to his Basketball Champions League season. 6 points as well for Hagens, and Salustros has been tough. As for the other team, rather, Vasilevskis has been tough, rather. 5 points for him. And for Peristeri, Salustros has come off the bench and scored 6 points to lead them. Dondikas has 4 points. William Hatcher with 2 points, but clearly not everybody on the same page yet for Peristeri. Second quarter underway here in Gaziantep. Gaziantep leading it by 13 points. They've led by as many as 16 points in the game. And Vasilevskis reaches around and fouls Skordilis.
Yapan oyuncu Gaziantep basketbolda 12 numara Sarunas Vasilevskas.
Ball inbounded just in the nick of time by Scoochie Smith. Here he is putting up off 1 foot. Kind of an awkward looking shot there. Nevertheless, Vasilevskis brings it back down. Played for Trabzonspor in Turkey last year, and then before that, the year before that, Usak Sportif. So he knows his way around Turkey. Ball kicked out now. Vasilevskis from the right. And Salustros with the rebound. Salustros. His pass goes off the hands of Skordilis. Janchenko in the game, number 15 for Gaziantep. Now the ball goes out of bounds, thrown away by Hagens.
Gaziantep basketbolda Sarunas Vasilevskas'ı yerine İsmail Cemurus oyununda.
Well, getting our first look at Steven. Oh no, sorry, he's been in for 5 minutes, but it's been a while. He's back in the game, number 32. Hands it off to Scoochie. And good drive, and foul has been called on Hachieva as Vasilopoulos attacked the basket. So good offense that time by Peristeri. Yeah, I think that's an easy call for the ref. Yeah, definitely got him on the right arm.
Oyuncu değişikliği Gaziantep'te Orhan Hachieva'nın yerine Stefan Yelovats oyunda.
Yelovats comes in, makes his first appearance here for Gaziantep in this Basketball Champions League season. Vasilopoulos. Takes and makes the free throw. It's back to a 12-point game. This is the second. And it's the first miss, I think, at the line for this Peristeri team. And they still lead by 12. See how they play with the lead. Jim Ulusoy back in the game. His pass almost intercepted. Ulusoy gets it back and misses with the jump shot. Vasilopoulos with the rebound. And Squichy Smith fouled by Ulusoy now, who has 3 fouls in the first half.
Gaziantep basketbolda faul yapan oyuncu 1 numara İsmail Cem Ulusoy, kendisinin ve Gaziantep basketbolun 3. faulü.
So foul trouble is going to send him to the basket. Vasilopoulos is going to come back into the game, which if you're Gaziantep, you want to get him a breather, but nevertheless, he has been a weapon offensively, Vasilopoulos. So in that sense, it's good to have him back out there. Squichy Smith, if he sees the ball going through the basket like this, it's going to bode well for him. And look at that, it's back to a 10-point game now. And Peristeri showing signs of life. Squichy Smith guarding Vasilopoulos. He goes up. Oh, look at that sweet finish with the right hand off the dribble.
Şimdi güçlü savunma.
7 points already for Vasilopoulos. Played in the Arvydas Sabonis school in Žalgiris. And seeing signs of the great man himself and the way he's playing. Look at this, the pass over to Hagans. And charge is called on Hagans, who's arguing, I got to have space to come down with the basketball.
Cemal Hagens'ten oyuncu değişikliği Gaziantep'te Jamal Sanders yerine Drew Crawford.
Good job drawing the charge there.
Cemal Hagens'in yerine Metehan Akil.
PJ Blake.
Gaziantep basketboluna takım puanı.
Vasilopoulos, meanwhile, getting some instructions from the assistant coach. Peristeri. 3 minutes into the second quarter, and Squichy Smith takes what the defense gives him. And Neda Markovic sees a problem here, so he's going to call timeout and talk things over here with his team. Go down to the bench and listen in. Also, look at the shooting numbers. Still Gaziantep 9 of 10. That's impressive.
Not possible. This is Steva. Okay, this is true. First, what we need is this good thing.
Vasilopoulos, that was that sweet drive. And this is Squichy Smith. Everybody picked him up. So he took it all the way. Fans here in Turkey rooting for Gaziantep, hoping they get off on the winning mark, and they've given themselves a great platform to get that first victory. Basketball is a 40-minute game. They've got to be able to close this thing out. They led by as many as 16 points. And right now their lead is down to just 10. And some full court pressure here with Mike Morrison right up at the front. And did they get it over in time? Yes, they did. By a couple of seconds. Trying to pick up the defense. Vasiliauskas from the left. Oh boy, that is sweet. Coming right out of the timeout and taking the lead back to 13 points. He has been really their best player tonight. Morrison down low and draws the foul. So potential three-point play now for Morrison.
Gaziantep basketbolda Stefan Yelamat faul yapan oyuncu. Mike Morrison bir serbest atış kullanacak.
He does indeed complete the three-point play. And now foul called on Morrison as Yelovats gets the ball into the paint.
Mike Morrison Peristeri faul yapan oyuncu.
Good job by Yelovats. So he will now go to the line for 2 free throws. I think he's giving him the shots.
İlk serbest atış kullanacak.
Yelovats sinks the first. He was gave himself a shot to make that World Cup roster for Serbia, but wasn't ultimately selected in that team. Well, they were upset in the quarterfinals by surprising Argentina. Here's the drive and back outside to Morrison. They're going to leave him open out there, no doubt. Gray puts it up and hits the three-pointer. And you can just feel Peristeri creeping back into it. Now down by 9 points. Chico, however, answers. So another timeout called by Peristeri. Lewis is not best pleased, as you can see with that defense.
Can you play one time the fucking pick and roll defense, everybody? Here, small to small, can we switch and keep the ball on the blue? Can we play here? Throw hand and force everything and everybody inside! Everybody inside! And keep the ball clear!
Well, I think it's safe to say that Coach Doris is not happy with the pick and roll defense of his players. The turnover battle as well. I mean, Gaziantep really is just shooting at such a high percentage right now. There's only going to be one result. This keeps up. I mean, they're shooting like 90% inside the arc. So 13 of 23 overall. Stephen Gray inbounds the ball to Scoochie Smith. Gets it back. Crosses midcourt. Coming up on the midway point here of the second quarter. Now the long jump shot is good by Gray. Gray heating up. Back to a 9-point game. Akio hands it off. Vasiliauskas. Leans into one, follows up his missed shot, is able to bat it back out to the perimeter to Chinko. And Gray reaches around, may have gotten away with a foul. Vasiliauskas into the corner. Akyel goes in and denied. Yelovats and shot. And 2 shots coming. The foul called on Skordilis right at the buzzer. Great effort on the boards by Gaziantep. I thought that was going to be a foul there. Morrison went up, had a pretty good block, but then the body by Skordilis is what they've called. So 2 free throws coming.
Peristeri Gaios Skordilis faul yapan oyuncu Stefan Yılmaz 2 serbest atış kullanacak. Alkışlar Stefan için.
That misses the first. Second was good. We're back to a 10-point lead. Chinko goes out and Sanders comes back in. Morrison passes it back outside. On the pass from Scoochie Smith, a fortuitous bounce. And Morrison with the rebound, puts it up and in. How about that for the offensive rebound and putback? And now it's an 8-point game. Vasiliauskas. Over to Akyel, is open, so he's going to take it. Oh, this is badly. And then Yelovats picks up the loose ball and is fouled by Gray. With 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Stephen Gray. Faul yapan oyuncu. Gaziantep basketbolda alkışlarınızla Metehan Akyel'in yerine Orhan Açıyeva yerine oyunda Stefan Yılmaz 2 serbest atış kullanıyor.
Yelovats makes the first one. Second as well. As Gaziantep try to keep hold of a double-digit lead at least in the first half, because you feel like if Peristeri were able to get it back to single digits, that would be a minor victory in and of itself, the way they started. Another chance. Gray, he's dangerous from deep. Another pass to Scoochie Smith and nails the long jump shot. That was the 2. Good effort on the boards from Blake, and they get it back to an 8-point game. Yelovats for 3. And the ball falls kindly to Blake. Now Scoochie Smith. Morrison. Blake. Now to Morrison. Shot clock winding down. Offensive foul called on Skordilis. Trying to set a screen. And he sends the Gaziantep guard crashing to the ground. Vasiliauskas, who's done it all today. And now Markovic is going to call another timeout. Coach getting the money's worth from the timeout department. This game started 30 minutes late because of the shot clock malfunction. So they've got shot clocks at the end of the court in the right corners. Listening to Coach Markovic.
Let's play this again. Post up, okay? Pick and pop for Stevan. So we have 4 and 5 here. First press break. We want ball in the middle, okay? And we have everybody like this, okay? So Stevan comes, he's pick and pop, 4 under. Okay, if you don't shoot,
Line down, line down. 4, 5, 1. Take it out, and post up more inside. Now, listen now. And then you start it.
Well, Gaziantep have led by as many as 16 points in the game. Peristeri have managed to cut that deficit back to single digits. And they want to finish this first half, if they can, on a roll. But Gaziantep coach Nenad Markovic calling a timeout, trying to steady the ship here right before the break. And almost a steal. No, they get it over just in the nick of time. And now Sanders has it. Pass back to Yelovats. Crawford back to Yelovats, puts up a 3. And he is fouled while attempting a 3-pointer. So that'll be 3 free throws and another chance for Gaziantep. Scordelis trying to get a hand in the face. And it's one of those things where you know these other teams, they got some good shooters out there. I'm not sure he would be a dead-eye shooter. He would be that concerned about making it through Yelovats, but he goes to the bench. And Yelovats now with a chance to extend the lead. So Yelovats takes it up to a 9-point advantage. Just a second. Yelovats doing all of his damage tonight at the free throw line. He's 0 of 1 from the floor. So now 7 of 9 at the free throw line. He's coming off the bench. And now Yelovats commits the foul.
Stevan Yelovats faul yapan oyuncu. İkinci faulü. Mike Morrison 2 serbest atış kullanacak Peristeri'de.
Nelson misses the first one. And this is the second. Vasilopoulos with the rebound, passes back over to Gray. And shooting it from 3-point range is Blake. Well, that couldn't have gone any better. Now it's a 7-point deficit for Peristeri. Vasiliauskas looking for space. It's to Crawford. Now Yelovats. And he's fouled. He's pushed by Vasilopoulos. So more contact and free throws.
Stevan Yelovats 2 serbest atış kullanacak. Stevan Yelovats
And he continues to do his damage at the free throw line. Yelovats goes out, and Metahan Akyal comes back into the game. Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Game that was delayed 30 minutes because of a shot clock malfunction. So shot clocks have been placed at the ends of the courts, and now another foul. And, this will send Scoochie Smith to the free throw line.
Scoochie Smith ilk atış başarılı. Scoochie Smith bir serbest atış daha kullanacak.
Offensive foul, turns the ball back over.
Jamal Sanders hücum faul. İkinci faulü. Oyuncu değişikliği.
So substitutions with Ulusoy coming into the contest. Final minute of the first half that's taken an eternity to play. Here's Mike Morrison losing the basketball. Jim Ulusoy has the three fouls, but is nevertheless checked back into the game. Crawford, and he's bumped out on the perimeter by Morrison. It's really difficult to understand how you commit that foul that far away from the basket to put Crawford on the free throw line.
Alkışlar tabii için.
Pass goes back outside. Here's Vasilopoulos. 5 on the shot clock, and Scoochie Smith lays it up and in. See if they can get a shot off here right at the end. Because Gaziantep's lead of 16 points has been whittled down to just 6 points. Ulusoy puts it up, misses. Vasilopoulos hurls it up the court, and we've got halftime. So at the end of 20 frustrating minutes, really, for the fans with the delay, it's Gaziantep leading at 42-36 over Peristeri. Well, you see 9 of 14 for Gaziantep, and Peristeri, their numbers getting better. 8 of 13 inside the arc now. 11 of 15 at the line, Peristeri, so that's been important for them. 11 more assists than Gaziantep. So you're really starting to wonder if Gaziantep have let a golden opportunity slip here. They were up by 16 points, and now it's just 6. And you see the defensive stats. Crawford and Vasiliauskas each with 10 points. Yelovats coming up with 9, all at the free throw line for Gaziantep. Smith has 9 points. Gray and Salustros each with 6 points for Peristeri. So we are at halftime. It's Gaziantep leading at 42-36 over Peristeri. And as you look at these highlights, just as a reminder, the game started late because of a shot clock malfunction. It took them 30 minutes to get the shot clocks into position at the edges of the courts. And so they switched off the shot clocks, which were placed on both on top of the baskets. And with a 30-minute delay, that has obviously contributed to this game starting very late. So without further ado, again, 42-36. Gaziantep on top at halftime. We'll be right back before the start of the second half. So we're at halftime, 42-36. Gaziantep on top. And you see the leading scores for both of these teams, 42-36. 10 points for Drew Crawford, showing us in those highlights. 9 for Scoochie Smith. And here is where Drew Crawford, they had no answer early on when he was sitting outside and hitting those shots with those 10 points. Scoring on the drives to the basket. And he was even able to put the ball on the deck and get to the basket and to put it high off the glass and in. And really, Crawford, not only Crawford, but Vasiliauskas was causing problems as well. So 42-36, Gaziantep on top at halftime over Peristeri here in Gaziantep, Turkey. Well, 6-point lead for Gaziantep at halftime. You see Peristeri with getting 9 points from Smith and looking really dangerous at this point. Scoochie Smith coming off the bench in his 10 minutes and 25 seconds and also having 3 assists. So he has been a problem for Gaziantep, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the second half starts. And you know, the stop-and-start nature of the game, certainly in the first half, made it seem like it was going to last forever. But one thing is for sure, Peristeri are in it to win it. Gaziantep, meanwhile, 10 points from Crawford and also 4 rebounds. So great start for him. Also, Vasiliauskas has been terrific for the home team. See Drew Crawford's numbers. There's 1 3. I thought he had 2, but must have had the foot on the line on one of them. He's 3 of 3 inside the only place where he hasn't done well has been at the free throw line. So this has been a game that has just had a 30-minute delay, really, right after the opening tip-off. The referees noticed the shot clock wasn't on, so they had to bring the stairs out to get up and take a look, and they decided that it was going to be best to go over and bring some shot clocks down to the floor, and that ended up creating about a 30-minute delay, and that's why we are only at halftime right now. This is the Group C game between a team from Turkey, Gaziantep, and a team from Greece, Peristeri. And Gaziantep had that dream start, went up by 16 points. But that lead has been whittled down to just 10. Peristeri finishing 4th in Greece last year. The 5th Greek club to play in the Basketball Champions League. Gaziantep, this is actually their 2nd appearance in the Basketball Champions League.
Pressure on the passer, so they don't pass the ball easy. Okay, let's play first offense. 54 flash for Drew. Okay, Ur play the pick. Okay, stay here. Watch moving screen. Okay, don't rush. And we play from here. Attack. Watch maybe post up. Okay, in the middle. Okay.
We might curl it too. We might curl it like right in the middle of the lane, depending on how we got it going.
After this, we play 53. Okay, cross screen. If we cannot put the ball down. Okay.
Wait, watch out this pass to me, okay?
Basketbol Şampiyonlar Ligi birinci haftası Gaziantep Basketbol Peristeri winmasters karşılaşmasının.
Well, they always say that first 5 minutes will be a real indicator in terms of how this second half is going to go. And Peristeri, will they maintain the momentum that they were starting to build right at the end of the first half, or might Gaziantep come back out and open up another big lead? Second half underway here in Gaziantep, Turkey. It's the host leading at 42-36. They were up by 16 at one point in the first half. It was 18-2. It was just a nightmare start for the visitors. Gaziantep come out, and Crawford had a great first half with 10 points, misses with a jump shot. Scoochie Smith gets it over to Vasilopoulos. Morrison has it on the low block, goes up, he misses, and the battle for the rebound. Hachieva has it, Hagen spins back and forth. His pass goes over his teammate's head and into the hands of Blake. Morrison attacking. The ball goes out of bounds. Good efforts from both teams there, going for the loose ball. Gray launches it from deep and drills a three-pointer, and just like that, it's a three-point game. Boy, this Peristeri team must feel like they've gotten out of jail. They looked like they were headed for a humiliation at the start of the game, and here they are now trailing by just 3 points. Vasiliauskas for three, doesn't go in, rattles out. Now Scoochie Smith crosses midcourt. Boy, what would it do for their season if they were able to come back from that huge deficit to win this game on opening night, on game day 1. Vasilopoulos gets inside and scores, and now it's just a 1-point game. Vasiliauskas over to Ogut, and driving in, John Ogut misses. Gray, if this goes in, they take the lead, and they do! Peristeri have come back. They trailed 16, and now they have taken the lead. What a turn of events. Go down to the bench and hear what Coach Markovic has to say.
It's a fadeaway shot from here. Then one screen, 3-point shot. Or one screen, 3-point shot here. We play big with you. There is no advantage. One more pick. Where you go here when you receive the ball? Wait, pass back. Take position one more time.
Come on, guys. Come on.
I told you in the first day, match up with shooters in transition. Don't leave Gray here. He's the best shooter. All shots he's alone. Where is your concentration?
Let's go.
It's been quite a comeback. You can see Markovic, plenty of concern as the visitors have come right out and scored 8 unanswered points. Now see if Gaziantep can actually come out and get their offense rolling. Ugat back to Vasiliauskas, pump fake into the corner. Crawford for 3, rattles out, and now Gray has it. He's been good. Gaziantep fans can't hardly believe their team's now losing. Gray goes off 1 foot, and the basket is good, and everything now that Peristeri are putting up is going in. Gray, meanwhile, 14 points. A 10-0 run to start the second half here for Peristeri. And Hachieva stepped out of bounds. That turns it over. And indeed he did. He was inbounds when he caught the pass, but then when he made his move, he put his left foot and went out of bounds, as you can see by that excellent camera work. Now Gray open again for 3, and this time the ball bounces over the backboard and out of bounds.
Hücum hakkı Gaziantep'te.
Vasiliauskas, you think maybe is the player they have to get going here for them to have a a shot at winning this game. Oh, the three-pointer is good from Can Ogut. And that gives it back to a one-point game. Somebody's got to step up and answer the call for Gaziantep. Spin move and the turnover from Scucci Smith. Vasilopoulos then steps in front of Crawford and is called for the block.
Peristeri faul yapan oyuncu 21 numara Panagiotis Vasilopoulos.
Very disruptive player. Knows what he's doing out there, Vasilopoulos. And they call the play. This game heating up nicely now here in the third quarter. Vasilopoulos gets back. Now an offensive foul. The block. Illegal screen. He was moving, knocking Xanthopoulos down. Xanthopoulos, it was fouled by Hagens.
Jamal Hagens'ın yerine Stefan Yelavat oyunda.
Yelovats comes back into the game. Who's very effective at getting to the free throw line. In that first half. Now Gray launches it from deep. Called by Hachieva. Now back to Ogut. Moves around up top. Now Yelovats. Vasiliauskas drives in, gets it high off the glass, misses. Good rebound from Hachieva. Hands it off. No, the ball stolen by Xanthopoulos. In the open floor, decides to bring it back. The bounce pass to Vasilopoulos. And then wasn't able to control it. And the referees are going to stop play because of a collision. Vasilopoulos goes down, and then Hachieva, and I'm not sure why they stopped. I'm not sure why they stopped the play. Vasilopoulos, if it was because he was slow getting up, I guess. Anyway, he comes out of the game. Salustros comes back into the game. Well, how good has Gray been? 14 points now, 5 of 10 from the floor. Has really shot this team back into it. Leading by 1, but Gaziantep with possession can reclaim the lead. Three-point attempt. Long rebound, Hachieva. Ogut. Now Vasiliauskas drives in, hands it off, goes out of bounds. And Yelovats was there looking for the layup. Good dump here. But Salustros knew the pass was coming, so he got a hand on it. Now William Hatcher comes back into the contest. Boy, he really sung his praises. Could be time for him to step up now for Peristeri. Ogut shimmies back outside. Crawford. And makes the shot and has a chance for a three-point play. Well, that was a big play from Crawford, but he misses the free throw. That has been his Achilles heel tonight. Crawford has been terrific offensively, but at the free throw line, just 1 of 4. Quick 1-2. Morrison into the corner to Hatcher. Bounce pass over to Blake. Another chance for Morrison. Passes it back outside to Xanthopoulos. Now Xanthopoulos sizes up his options, gets it over to Hatcher for 3. That's good. William Hatcher. Well, he's a player for the big moment. There's no doubt about it. 5 points for him. Yelovats, Ogut has to launch it from deep. It's good! A nice little three-point shootout between these two teams. This has really been the best quarter of basketball. It's started out badly for Gaziantep, but they seem to have rediscovered their touch. Salustros, meanwhile, comes down and misses. Actually with the rebound and gets it over to Crawford. Salustros steps in front of him and picks up another one, or Xanthopoulos.
Vasilis Xanthopoulos, faul yapan oyuncu. Kendisinin iki Peristeri'nin 3. takım faulü.
Xanthopoulos was so important for Ike at the Final Four a couple years ago when they won the basketball championship. He was terrific. What a great signing by Peristeri. Skordilis, meanwhile, comes back into the game, and Sanders comes back in for Gaziantep. Gaziantep with a 1-point edge right now. Yelovats from deep. Good rebound by Blake. Jay Blake doing a little bit of everything right now to help his team. And now a hold called on Vasiliauskas. 3:08 remaining here in the third quarter.
Faul yapan oyuncu. Kendisinin 3 Gaziantep basketbolunun 2. takım faulü.
3 fouls on Vasiliauskas. Ulasoy, who had a rough introduction to the game in terms of collecting fouls. He ended up with 3 first-half fouls. He comes back into the game now. It's first appearance in the second half. Played for Van Dierma last year. Now the pass, and Skordilis goes up. And a late call on Yelovats. So Skordilis will go to the free throw line. And that was very clearly a foul. It was a little bit of a delay by the ref, but at least he got it right. There's no doubt that was a foul. You'd rather get it right, even if there is a delay. So Skordilis has really had a tough game tonight. See if he can get something going here, but he misses his first free throw. Skordilis, no points. 0 of 2 from the floor. 3 turnovers. Also has 3 fouls. So clearly it hasn't been working for him, and now he's missed another free throw. He's missed 2 free throws. Ogut. John Ogut. Yelovats fouled by Salustros. So that's team foul number 4 on Peristeri.
Skordilis'in 4. faulü, aynı zamanda Peristeri'nin takım faulü sınırı doldu.
What a wonderful season. I mean, he really did play well for us last year for Prometheus. And there's Yelovats. What is it about a player like Yelovats? He just is able to get his get to the free throw line where he's doing all of his damage tonight. All 11 of his points have come at the free throw line tonight. 11 of 13 at the stripe. Now Hatcher. See if he's going to hatch a new plan. Skordilis picks. Now back. Xanthopoulos. Pump fake. And how about that from Salustros? The three-pointer. Nice patience, and it ties the game at 52. Game has a nice flow to it now, a nice rhythm. 9 points for Salustros. Ogut puts it on the deck, goes in amongst the land of the trees, comes away with nothing. Xanthopoulos, and he's denied by Yelovats, but is fouled. Yelovats did not leave his feet. Watch this, though. Does he? Oh, no, it was Crawford, I think, who fouled him. It was indeed on Drew Crawford. So a couple free throws coming. Nope. They called it before the shot. And now the quick pass inside. They give away an easy one. Salustros very cleverly. Nice play by Peristeri. And really, you can't give away that type of basket on an inbounds play if you're Gaziantep. Difficult night for Ulusoy, missing. And now Peristeri bring it up with a 2-point lead, looking to extend the lead. Going off 1 foot and scoring is William Hatcher, coming to life. 4-point lead. Yelovats falls over, and he is tied up, and we'll see who has possession here. It's going to be go over to Peristeri ball. So Yelovats couldn't stay on his feet, just kind of almost as if Skordelis pulled the rug out from under him. Just kind of backed up a little bit. I think he was anticipating a little bit of contact. So good job by Skordelis. And less than a minute to go now here in this third quarter. And Ulusoy, good job defensively, almost forcing a turnover. I like the energy that he brings. He just has to play a little smarter at times. Hatcher crosses midcourt. Now Xanthopoulos. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Now, Ulusoy and Gaziantep do not want to foul here. They'll be over the limit. Shot clock is down to 3. Hatcher flies, nope. And the ball goes to Yelovats, and he hands it off. There's about an 8-second differential in the game clock and the shot clock. And again, Peristeri don't want to foul because then they would put Gaziantep on the line. Pass back outside. Good touch pass over to Sanders. Crawford puts it up. Yelovats follows. And Salustros has it. And I'm not sure why the buzzer sounded. Maybe because the shot clock went off. So par for the course the way this game has gone, if it's related to the shot clock. Anything related to the shot clock is it creates a little bit of chaos here in Gaziantep. So now they're going to have to talk about it, and a minor delay to figure out how much time is on the clock for Peristeri. No, they're going to say it's Gaziantep ball. So they thought they put up the shot because they heard the shot clock go off, and that turned it over. So bad break really for Peristeri. Crawford, meanwhile, puts it up from deep and misses. So Peristeri actually launched the shot thinking that the buzzer had sounded at the end of the third quarter, but in fact, I think it was the shot clock. But anyway, Peristeri lead it 56-52 over Gaziantep. 10 minutes remaining. So 56-52, Peristeri on top. You see the numbers. Peristeri now 12 of 20 inside the arc. So they led by 16 points. Gaziantep, but right now they are trailing against Peristeri. It's been a very interesting game. Had a shot clock violation. Excuse me, a shot clock malfunction, which led to the 30-minute delay at the start of the game. Here's Crawford. Gets inside, puts it up high off the glass. How about that shot? Boy, that was big time from Crawford. Gets it back to a 2-point game. 56-54. Peristeri quickly to the other end. Salustros, out it goes. And how about Blake answering with the three-pointer? Boy, that was money right there. I'll tell you, there was no execution to be found at any point in the first quarter for Peristeri. And now they're looking much better, much slicker on offense. Shot down low, denied. Higgins, tough shot for the big fella. Not sure whether that's what they want. What a game. Gaziantep led by 16 points, 18-2. But they haven't been able to press home the advantage. And now Morrison gets inside and is fouled by Ogut. Morrison, not the best free throw shooter in town, goes to the line and makes the first one. Could be that he's improved this aspect of his game. I know he certainly had some struggles. Second one is good as well. So Morrison, I tell you what, nothing like hard work to make you a better free throw shooter. A lot of players that have had free throw struggles in their careers who've really worked at it and gotten better at it. Peristeri 61-54, their biggest lead of the game. Now the ball turned over to Salustros, and then he holds it up. Hatcher has it. He dumps it down low to Morrison, and then his pass intercepted by Higgins. Ogut. Now the dump, and a foul called in the lane. Blake raising his hand to say the foul was on him. And it was indeed, as he challenged Higgins on the alley-oop pass.
Higgins 2 serbest atış kullanacak.
Higgins misses the first. Well, Higgins makes the second. Every point precious right now for Gaziantep, trailing by 6 points. And now a little bit out of control, and Ogut takes advantage. Oh, and he missed the layup. Unbelievable. Of anything that could have happened, you would not have drawn that up. Gaziantep with a golden opportunity after the turnover, and Ogut missed the layup. Hatcher shaking and baking, takes the foul, and he will go to the line. Boy, that is going to be perhaps something that Coach Markovich loses sleep over, the missed layup by Ogut. Now Hatcher shows why he's so dangerous. Able to put the ball on the deck. If you go out and get a hand in his face to prevent the jump shot, he will put it on the deck and go past you.
Yılın Hatchery ilk atış başarılı, bir serbest atış daha kullanacak.
And the second one is good. 63-55. Well, up ahead it goes to Chinko, back outside to Ulusoy. Crawford bounce pass. How about Higgins? Throws it down. Nine points for Higgins. He's been pretty good lately. They need somebody that's aggressively going to the basket. He's been doing it now. Morrison takes inside. Oh, he misses a shot. Higgins with the rebound. Higgins bringing the effort on both ends of the floor right now. Ogut bounce pass to Higgins. Crawford pulls up right at the stripe. It's good. And Iliasaurus wastes no time. He decides we have got to call timeout. And that was a 4-point swing with Morrison missing, albeit a contested shot at the other end. And Gaziantep going right down with Higgins feeding Crawford for the jump shot to cut it back to a 4-point deficit. Both teams over 50% inside the arc, and they've also done a lot better in the second half with the three-point shooting. In fact, Peristeri up around 40% now, so that is any coach will take that.
Drew, let's play regular 54, okay? Drew is 4.
Oscar's back into the game. Chinko's in the game. They're coming out of the timeout. Zuros didn't want to mess around. He saw a little bit of a run coming from Gaziantep. He just wanted to refocus his team here. Hatcher pushed out. Good job by Higgins defensively. Shot clock winding down. And Xanthopoulos has to launch it. I'm not sure he got it off in time. So Ogut now will inbound it. So that is never a good sign coming out of a timeout, not to even get a shot off. Crawford could be the key here. He's been the one player that has consistently put the basketball in the basket. Ogut, meanwhile, bounce pass to Higgins. He gets it down low. Wow, you got to be impressed by Higgins. He is balling. And now it's back to a 2-point game. Another chance for Gaziantep to tie it or to take the lead. Crawford in the lane, tough shot, and swooping in for the rebound, Xanthopoulos. Midway through the fourth quarter. What a barn burner it's turned out to be. A great second half between these two teams. First half left a lot to be desired in every respect, but the second half has been terrific. Hatcher drives in, misses. Higgins with the rebound. Another opportunity for Gaziantep. Into the corner goes. And instead of shooting it, Chinko passes it back. Now he's got it. His feet are set. He puts it up. And the rebound for Peristeri with 4.5 minutes remaining. White knuckle time. It is tense in Gaziantep. They led by 16 points in the first quarter. But now they're trailing by 2. A lot of basketball still to be played. Morrison takes it down low, trying to get a foul called. But great defense by Gaziantep. Now Crawford into the corner again. And, oh, Chinko's attempt gets wedged on the other side of the basket. I'm not sure I've seen that before. I've seen an attempt get wedged on the strong side, but not the weak side. And Morrison, meanwhile, holding his hand as if he's been hurt. Ooh, yeah, he just fell awkwardly. Tough game sometimes. Look at this. I have never seen that. I've seen it get wedged on the other side, but that flew over the rim and it just hit it at such an angle. He inbounds the ball. Well, there's been a lot of different players that have stepped up, certainly for Peristeri once they got it going, but Gaziantep, I'll tell you what, a win here would be huge for their season in the Basketball Champions League if they could fight through the adversity. But you have to say the same thing about Peristeri. If they could somehow, some way hold on and get a win here, boy, they would leave with smiles on their faces. On the shot clock. Scoochie Smith has been sitting. Now he's back in the game. Puts it up from deep, right off the bench. Off the iron it goes and out of bounds. So Gaziantep will now inbound it. Both teams all of a sudden struggling to put the ball in the basket. And the teams will go to the bench for timeout. Look at that fan behind the Gaziantep bench holding the base. How could that kid be sleeping right now? This is the most thrilling part of the game. Fantastic. Love seeing the kids come out to the games, no matter what age. Let's listen to Coach Markovic.
Hold on. Stay close. Listen, guys. Listen, I did. 5. Drew is here. Ur is here. Okay. Hold on. Fake and receive the ball. Shut up. Gets the ball. Fake like you're gonna make flare screen. Cut. Okay. Now shut us. He's waiting for the screen.
Let's go.
The rebounding numbers 32-28 in favor of Gaziantep.
Ur comes up. Set the flare screen on the other side. Okay. Yes. Hands up. Fake attack. Go like this. Beam down. For Drew.
Hustle out, guys. Come on. Referee's telling you the timeout is up. Got to get the show on the road. Well, you never know. You might even have overtime in a game like this. That would be free basketball. I'm sure many in the arena wouldn't mind that. Chance for the home team to come out and get a great win on game day 1 in the Basketball Champions League. In their second ever Basketball Champions League season. Hagens takes it down low, goes to work, then fumbles it away, and somehow, some way, Peristeri come up with the basketball. Now it's their turn. Can they get something to fall? And Vasilopoulos tries to make the pass inside, but good job by Hasieva to knock it out of bounds. Here it is again. Oh, what a shifty move. Then outside it goes. Salustros for three off the back of the iron. Sanders, oh, look at the hustle from Skordilis to knock it to his teammate. It's been a tough game for Skordilis, but he laid all out there to get the ball back to his teammate. And now Vasiliauskas fouls Vasilopoulos. 2:49 remaining. That is foul number 3 on Gaziantep, so that'll be a new 14. And now another foul called. Hachieva trying to deny the inbounds pass. So any more, oh yeah, that's a clear foul. It's getting tied up with Vasilopoulos. So the ball inbounded to Skordilis. He goes up. Oh, and he hits a shot. His first basket is a huge basket. It takes it up to a 4-point lead. Oh, good. Looks for options. Crawford. And he is fouled as he gets inside by Salustros, who I think thinks that Jordan kind of fell over, kind of lost his balance.
Kenardan hücuma devam edecek Gaziantep.
Vasiliauskas over to Crawford. He's open. And Vasilopoulos with the rebound. And now Peristeri will be more than happy to take a few seconds off the clock here. What is the strategy of Gaziantep? Will they foul or will they just continue to play defense? Gray's going to launch it. And Skordilis, the rebound, hands it off to Salustros, gets it over to Vasilopoulos, who misses. And now Hagans, with less than 2 minutes to go, hands it off to Ogut. Ogut to Hagans. Then he fumbles it away. It was a tough catch for Hagans. And Zuros calls the play from the sideline. 65-61. Peristeri, having trailed by 16 points, now lead by 4 with a minute and a half remaining. Scoochie Smith, bounce pass. Oh, did you see how the ball just sat on the rim? Incredible. Now Crawford. And the ball on the ground, and it's come up with, and it's going to be a wide open layup for Scoochie Smith. Scoochie do. What a turn of events, and an opportunity goes begging for Gaziantep. Vasilakis is looking for the 3. Instead, the three-pointer is going to be attempted by Crawford, and Vasilopoulos rebounds it, hands it off to Scoochie Smith with less than a minute remaining. Peristeri more than happy to take some time off the clock. You feel like if they score here, it might just be all over, and Vasiliauskas commits a foul late in the shot clock. And if you want to commit a foul, commit it before that. Ulusoy, meanwhile, is going to come into the game. So Vasiliauskas fouls out of the game. That's 5 on him. And Scoochie Smith with a free throw dagger makes it a 7-point lead, and the Gaziantep crowd is silent. They know their team has let one perhaps get away tonight, having led by 16 points, and he rattles in the second one as well. And Markovic decides to call timeout to try to draw up the last play in here with 41.5 seconds remaining. And don't forget also, folks, that at the end of the season, when tiebreakers come down to it, points differential comes into it. So you don't want to have a game turn into a blowout right at the very end. Gaziantep will be making sure that they manage this deficit. Because if these two teams were to be in a head-to-head situation, a head-to-head tiebreaker, or if in a potential three-way tie, those points matter. So Peristeri, nevertheless, I think they realize they've got one hand firmly on the victory right now, and the other hand is just about to take a firm grip as well. But they need to make sure they close this thing out. Well, look at the ball just sit there. But you have to really applaud how Skordilas, who really struggled tonight, came out and made a couple of very big plays tonight for this Peristeri team here in the fourth quarter. So Ulusoy brings it up the floor in the final minute. Gaziantep trailing by 8 points. And Salustros commits the foul with 29.1 seconds remaining. I think that was before the shot. Well, it depends when they've called the foul, in fact. It looks like they're going to give him free throws. So Ogut makes the first. And the second. Are they going to foul, perhaps? And now Peristeri want to bring someone in. So make a substitution, perhaps a better free throw shooter and clearly a better ball handler. And good play, good basketball there by Peristeri, able to inbound it and get it up the floor quickly across midcourt. Final 18 seconds left, and now Crawford commits the foul, so Gaziantep are going to put him on the free throw line. And I think you could see by the reaction over there of Markovic that that is not what he wanted. They do not want the lead to grow because of a potential tiebreaker between these two teams or even multiple teams. Gray goes to the line and misses the first, so it could end up helping him. In fact, even if he makes this, and Gaziantep go down and score. He does indeed make the second. Checking back into the game is Blake. Gray goes out. Gaziantep bring it up the floor. Oga. And gets it over to Hatsieva. Crawford has it back outside. Ulusoy, and they had a foul to give. Salustros, so they commit the foul, and with 3 seconds remaining, and another substitution here for Peristeri. Salustros, I think, is coming back into the game. No, they want to look at something. Why do you want to look at this here? Let's see. Oh, gosh. I was not too sure what they're reviewing here. 3.2 seconds remains. 7 seconds to go. Oh, they're looking to see if it was unsportsmanlike. That they are indeed. I wouldn't say that he was playing the ball. I think there's a danger they will call this an unsportsmanlike. Yes, they have. So that is a really bad foul by Xanthopoulos, who was literally substituted into the game. So this makes it interesting. Ulusoy goes to the line, and then Gaziantep will maintain possession. I think probably the victory is still too far away from it, but they can certainly cut into the deficit. He makes the first. but misses the second. So it is a 7-point deficit. And now Gaziantep will try to inbound the ball and get another 2 or 3 points here before the end of the game. And Peristeri definitely do not want to commit a foul here. Crawford waited too late. So that's how it finishes, folks. Peristeri trailed by 16 points. But they come back and make the big plays late. They win it 70-64 over Gaziantep. Well, a great win for Peristeri here, 70-64 for Gaziantep after trailing by 16 points. We'll leave you with these. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tenerife, Spain. This is the Basketball Champions League, and it's the game between Peristeri Tenerife
Δεν το έβασε μπροστά, αλλά αυτό το